between Sync Esports and Reason Gaming. And yes, Reason up, 1-0. It's I would love to be that person, that guy that got up after Sync won that last Conqueror fight and everything, and it just seemed like that was going to be it for the game. And all of a sudden, sit back down 10 minutes later, after you got a snack or whatever, and then realize it's 1-0 Reason because you missed a hell of a finish there. And Reason, they did what really the only chance they maybe had at that point. The whole idea of the backdoor, post-hasting to the Hellhounds, and stopping a couple TPs that ultimately got them the victory. So, win's a win, and that's what they got. So, well played by Reason. And here we are now, game number 2. Something tells me Sync, they got a little bit of a chip on their shoulder now.
Yeah, for sure. They are definitely not going to let Reason get the kind of advantage that they had in game number 1 at least. Andromeda, Ophelia, though, those are signature heroes for Reason lately. Usually Andromeda indicates that they want to go offensive. Versus Midas, Puppet Master. I mean, Sync are picking up this Puppet Master, or they are rating it very highly versus Reason Gaming for the fact, or for the reason that Imba Boy is just such a masterful Puppet Master. But I mean, Reason really making the point as well, though, that they don't need the Puppet Master to win for themselves. Like, they are just picking up like core heroes like Ophelia instead, which is usually the kind of hero that you want to see on Sync, that Sync rates very highly. So I don't know. I feel like they are almost overestimating the Puppet Master a little bit here on Sync side. I would rather see them pick up the Ophelia than the Puppet Master and just let Reason have it. I mean, it is good. Imba Boy is good with the hero, but it still comes to a point that he's only one man.
That's true. Yeah, he's only one guy there, and although the carry for the team, you should be able to perhaps deal with it in certain ways. But yeah, I think that's pretty much what you're saying there. That they play it well enough themselves and keep it out of the hands of Imba Boy is really the strat here. So they get that. Ophelia the first pick, as we mentioned. Midas into Andromeda, and then there's Parasite once again for Sync. So they will have Parasite this time in an Ophelia matchup, so even a little bit better there. And Zlap did do a hell of a job last game in general all throughout. We didn't really talk about him too much, but he seemed like he did his job, and not surprised there. A fantastic Parasite player, and once again going to be going up against an Ophelia this time around, so we'll see how that may change some things as well. The third pick for Reason, though, will we get the carry answer? Is this going to be even another Corrupted, perhaps?
I don't think so.
Else? No?
I guess it could be if they're looking to go for the offensive mana, but Andromeda is not going to be able to babysit versus a Suicide Midas at least. So they're not going to have this like carry plus babysitter in the safe lane. I feel like it's going to be a 1 versus 1 matchup, Midas versus the carry of Reason's choice.
Yeah. All right.
Now they go with Moraxis as well. Okay, he's going to have a difficult time though in the mid. You still don't know where Midas is. That's the biggest problem right now for Reason. He can be in the mid and he can be in the suicide lane, so you can't really draft around it. Moraxis, Andromeda, usually not a very good combination. So something tells me that Moraxis is going to be 1 versus 1 in the mid.
All right, well, obviously. I mean, Moraxis is a solid hero, no doubt, but yeah, so you're just a little bit worried with the matchup purpose.
Yeah, exactly. They got a Parasite, they got a Midas, Puppet Master. Or at least Parasite and Puppet Master. Moraxis is very good versus those heroes with that Arcane Shield. Of course, being able to not only disjoint like the Skeleton King in the early game, but also the Face Hug later on into the game.
All right, the final ban from either side. You see they did the Dark Lady on top of Corrupted Disciple, but of course Dark Lady as well, one that they've really been adamant about, especially against Imba Boy, have taken away. Swiftblade, the final ban from them. Kraken coming out from Reason, and yeah, Mickey has been playing a little bit of Kraken lately once again, so not surprised to see that one coming out on top of the Hag and the Magmus. So still need a Mickey hero possibly.
Yeah, Swiftblade going through like the first 3 picks and blind bans both of these games.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that comes down to the fact that these two teams are able to like deal with him very, very good. Reason Gaming definitely showed that in the series versus Complexity. They just shut down the Swiftblade every single game. They just picked these good counters to him. Yeah. So Sync is just not even gonna bother picking him up. Pebbles, okay. So this is I don't know. It worked. It didn't work out the best in game number 1, but in this game in particular, I feel like Moraxis and Ophelia usually like are not the best synergy either, because Moraxis cannot, he doesn't have that like a lead stun. So he can't, like, for example, if they were to put Midas in the mid, Sync Esports, then what was Moraxis going to do? He can't take benefit from the Ophelia ganks. There's no way they can get rid of the Midas. Now when there is a Pebbles though, Moraxis can easily just quick stun when Pebbles goes for a kill, or for a creep kill, and then Ophelia can come in and follow it up with a Catman or Skeleton or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I feel like a ranged hero would have been so much better for Sync to have in the mid.
Alright, well. Oh, didn't mean to do that there.
Oogie.
Play again.
What?
Yeah, they go Oogie. That's... Don't know if I saw that come. And I don't know, has Reason ever played Oogie? Would we have that, Quincy? I'm sure you would, but I don't think they have. Like, I don't think I've ever recall Imbo Boy playing Oogie, at least on Honkcast.
I don't think so, no. They are usually not a fan of this hero. Same goes with Silhouette. You have never seen Reason play Silhouette.
Yeah. That's another one. Rhapsody, the final pick for Sync there. Okay, they have played it a couple times. All right. Yeah, I wonder if any of those were actually even on Honkcast or not. But point is, they have actually done it a couple times, so Imbo Boy's somewhat familiar with the hero at least, as far as tournament play goes.
Reason with Oogie 1 went okay.
I wonder what made them go, like, why go Oogie here, though?
I have absolutely no idea.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me. At all. Like, the draft from Reason, this game, I felt like game number 1 was spot on, but game number 2, I don't feel, or I don't see the synergy at all. Ophelia, when you have that kind of hero, you usually want heroes that can easily pick. Lodestone? What?
Huh.
Okay, they have no lead stun whatsoever. How are they ever going to initiate? They can't initiate before they get Moraxis Portkey.
Well, Andro, kinda.
Yeah, but low range stun. I don't know if that's
Swap,
really counts.
Kinda. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's not a Magmus. It's not. Yeah, it's not anything like that. So that's true.
I mean, if you have the Ophelia, and if you're looking to run, are you looking to run Andromeda Babysitter for Oogie versus a Midas? I feel like Midas is almost gonna win that one versus 2.
Really?
And then Moraxis in the mid, Pebbles is gonna have complete free farm. Moraxis is not gonna get anything. Rhapsody is gonna box him out completely. And then Lodestone versus Puppet Master down at the safe lane for Legion. I think Sync might be looking to like more or less win 3 lanes at this point.
Yeah. So, you like Sync's lineup is the moral of the story here. Yeah, I mean, yeah. You also look at who's playing what. It is one of those cases, too, a lot of comfort here. A lot of comfort coming across the board from Sync. Whereas, Moraxis, he's going to be fine. He's a little too far away. Unless maybe a check. Oh, the Stalagmites hits, actually. I don't know about this, though. They don't want to go too deep. Lodestone, he gets several stunned. Lodestone, though. Now he's in a vulnerable spot. There's the stun from Moraxis. Is anyone going to die out of this? I don't think so. After everything being used, they're all good. So a little bit of regen even, but...
If Reason would have capitalized on that and just grouped up way earlier, then I think they would have been able to get a kill out of that.
Yeah.
But it took a little bit too long for Oogie and Ophelia to rotate over.
Yeah. Yeah, you see player-hero combinations right there. It was something like nearly 90 for Sync with the heroes that they're running and who's playing it, but then it was only like 36 for Reason, and I assume a majority of that's Tankafed and Ophelia, and probably Nier playing a bit of Andromeda, I would think, too. But anyways, the point is, yeah, Oogie and Lodestone are no doubt the two that, you see right there, 36 games, that really stand out as, not often played by them, but... So yeah, you like the lane advantages in favor of Sync, and you see Parasite going aggressive here.
I don't know. They're choosing to go with Puppet Master in this mid, and Pebbles Rhapsody at a bot lane. Why?
Yeah. So
this makes absolutely no sense. Why would they want to box out the Lodestone? It doesn't really matter if he gets some experience at some levels versus the Puppet Master. The Puppet Master would still be able to crush him 1 versus 1, and they would have been able to get a very favorable matchup in the mid lane with Pebbles Rhapsody versus a Moraxis Andromeda.
Yeah, well, maybe a lot of it just comes down to just simply want to prioritize the farm on Pebbles with no threat at jungle. Ganks possibly. I mean, there obviously is that advantage here, being at the short lane bottom. Ophelia's definitely not going to be in your jungle, so at least you would expect that.
But they don't have the lead stun in the mid, so they wouldn't be able to capitalize from the Ophelia ganks anyway, I feel.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, that definitely is some fair points there. So, but you know, with how they set them up, though, is it still fair to say that Puppet Master should have a good time, and Pebbles obviously will have a great time. So, really, in the long run, maybe it's not the most efficient, but I still think it's going to work out. So I guess the ultimate point.
I guess, but depends on how well Sync or Flensmeister are going to do here in the middle.
Yeah.
Andromeda has already rotated back to the top lane. He was like, okay, there's no way I'm going to be able to outbox Puppet Master, so I'm just going to leave you here for 1 versus 1. And it just comes down to the draft. The same thing would have more or less gone if Rhapsody and Pebbles was in the mid. Andromeda still can't do anything in that mid lane.
You see Moraxis, he's having to keep his distance here. Of course, for good reason. Something else I want to touch on about Moraxis, though, you do look at the Legion side. You know, there's a lot of single target. The Chuck, you got Parasite of what he's all about. You got, obviously, Puppet Master, a lot of single target lockdown. So, that Arcane Shield may be pretty beneficial throughout this game for him. Ooh, middle.
Is that Invis Andromeda? I can't even see.
Yeah, I know. It's tough to tell with her skin, definitely. But it is Invis, the combo stun. Now, he was pretty far away, though. Yeah, too far.
That was too bad. I could have been a kill attempt if they just were a little bit more patient.
Wanted to try for it right there. And in the end, Flensmeister easily gets away. I mean, he really took nothing right there. So, not a whole lot wasted. You got Pebbles going to pick up his boots from the side shop right there. I mean, Lowstone is managed to hit level 3 here, even despite a Rhapsody constantly boxing him out. So, credit to Zane, definitely. Managed to get some levels. Midas in the meantime at the top lane. You see Oogie chasing him down, but Oogie no stun himself. There's a Skeleton King stun, though. Kama-san coming out as well. Will it be enough burst? He ports away with the Elemental Warp, gets a transmute off, and he actually is going to escape. The fact he got that off on Ophelia was huge. Or very likely would have fallen, so good getaway from KZ there. To stay alive.
That it was indeed, yeah. But look at Puppet Master in the mid lane. 300 plus gold per minute already, and this started out as a 1 versus 2 for him.
Yeah. Yeah, this is looking good for Flensmeister and Sync as a whole. Pebbles also off to a great start. Again, you got to remind yourself, unlike last game, he was actually going to lock down completely, and didn't have a great start. And really throughout the whole game, I mean, never was the biggest of impacts. I mean, obviously at the later fights, was able to do plenty. Not to take away from that by any means, but maybe not the usual Mickey role that we see from Sync, where he takes off and does his thing. This game, though, it's setting up that way is the point.
I like this kind of draft as well, with having Pebbles in the safe lane and just go for that Steamboat into Mystic Vestment, like a little bit more of a tanky presence. But usually I would like for them to have some kind of push presence on their side in that case, like Tempest or Ophelia, so they can take 2 fast towers here at the bot lane and just get a super fast pull key. Lodestone wouldn't have been able to counter push at all, so it would have been very, very easy. Instead they got the Parasite, so a little bit more offensive jungler. It doesn't go too well with just having a single hero in the mid lane.
Yeah. Uh-oh, Midas in trouble once again. Going to be able to Elemental Warp away right there, though. And it looks like he gets the distance, so causing a lot of distraction, to be fair. Even Moraxis comes over to try to make something happen, but losing out on some lane time, and Puppet Master even hits level 6 in the process now on top of it. So, Oogie, intrigued to see what Imboboy goes for, because, you know, Beaver Banger, most noticeably known for playing it, likes to get that Gnome's Wisdom, the Icon of the Goddess, things like that early on. I assume Icon, at least, is pretty much going to be a give-in. It's whether or not he goes to Gnomes I'm actually curious about on him right here, but...
Yeah, they are taking advantage, by the way, here at the bot tower, for the fact that Lodestone doesn't have any counter push. Oh, Rhapsody taking the tower.
She's like, screw this, I gotta fight. She goes down, Bloodlust Kill comes out for the Hellborn side, and yeah, a little sloppy right there, definitely. More so well played by Reason. You got Midas. He has a transmute ready to go. Gonna use it on Andromeda. Parasite coming in. There's the Chuck over to Lodestone, trying to maybe set up a kill on him as well. And they're gonna chase. Pebbles has stalagmites back up. No, not even gonna be necessary. So a double tap for Sync in the end. So maybe a little sloppy early on, but hey, it paid off big time as they get the kill and possibly now a tower push on top of that.
Yeah, well played by Sync. This is usually what they used to do best, is those early rotations. Everyone, 5 men involved in that bot lane already at the 6-minute mark.
Yeah, Mickey, 470 gold per minute. That's also a very scary deal. And I don't know if there's any way to, like, would it be possible, Quincy, to get, like, some kind of idea if when Mickey, like, is 300 GPM early in the game? at like
He's
5
always 300 gold per
minute.
minute.
I guess so, he probably is. Or maybe something like 4, like he is now, like, obviously, probably undefeated. I mean, that wouldn't be too surprising to see, I guess, as far as the stat goes. But, again, it just seems like, as far as players go, he's up there with, if he gets a good start, you can pretty much feel very good about Sync's chances in the end, as far as a victory goes. So
safe to say, yeah.
So
Meraxes, he did have an invis in the mid, but they weren't able to capitalize.
Yeah. I can't do that. Okay. That is a lot of it. All right. I thought you're
oh,
good
bottom.
at that.
Lodestone,
Oh, well.
ultimate.
Lodestone, Pebbles. There's the Shatter Storm. You see the Comet. Jeez, that head smash, man.
Well played. That was his bulky right there. His bulky timing.
Oh,
it's gonna
you're
delay
right.
it with a minute or more.
Yeah. That's a big deal. That's actually pretty significant. The fact that, yeah, not only does he not have his portal key now just yet, but he could have picked up the portal key and then gone for a kill right away, which you see all the time. So instead, he's going to have to resurrect, get back to the bottom lane, farm up a little bit more, then get it. So yeah, you're right.
I think
about
they're looking to do something in the mid lane. Meraxes always gonna go for the top rune. It was a little bit lucky there, because if he would have stayed for one more creep kill, actually Slapped is gonna run in. I'm not sure about that decision. He can easily Arcane Shield his Skeleton.
Well, he did right there, and he absorbed. It looked like Puppet Master. Okay, I was gonna say Skeleton can net a hit, but it's a Puppet Show that got absorbed by Meraxes right there. So well played. Able to escape, and that goes back to, though, again, him being a good pick for that reason, though. There's a lot of single target abilities that he can absorb with the Arcane Shield.
Oh, Andromeda in the mid.
Yeah, that's not even invis. She's just running in. Flensmeister was late to react to it. Matrix going out, and it is going to be enough for the kill. Midas getting there too late, so Flensmeister just not wary enough of his surroundings. Gets picked off. That's a big kill. Who's going pretty good as far as farm goes.
Nir is doing a really good job so far this game, just getting those rotations going all the time. She's been top, she's been mid, and bot. Just getting kills all over the map, making Sync Esports really damn afraid at this point.
Yeah.
They got a Polky now onto Pebbles, but he hasn't shown it for them quite yet. Probably gonna look to rotate over to the mid and get a kill on that Meraxes. As long as they can keep the Meraxes from the Polky timing, they are not going to have any initiation from Reason side.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a good one there too, though. 325 GPM, 91 and 5 when he does that. So, yeah, not often with. And 325 isn't even like that crazy. I mean, it's by all means a fair amount of farm. Here we go, though, in the middle lane, gonna jump on him. Meraxes, he throws out the stomp, and is gonna escape though. So, in fact, he's able to get that stomp off, the difference maker there. But guess why? Arcane Shield popped, and was able to get away.
He must have been incredibly lucky though from that one. I think the Puppet Show just made Meraxes like attack a creep with low health, and then he just killed it in one attack, and the Puppet Show wear off or something.
Okay.
Because otherwise we would have been locked down for. Puppet Show is level 2, so it should have been a little bit longer lockdown than that. I feel. I don't know. That was unfortunate at least. The important part, Pebbles' Polky timing is now. It's not ruined, but Reason Gaming got a nice heads up, and they got Andromeda on level 6 as well, so it's going to be tricky to find those kind of pickups.
Yeah, Ophelia's touch on top of that, which was used there, so another reason why Meraxes able to escape, and why that's not necessarily going to be as impactful as a lot of times. So, Gnome's Wisdom is finished on Imboboy, by the way. We can't forget about him. He's basically been by himself here at the top lane, doing his thing. 440 gold per minute showing for that. He is top in the game right now. And again, did go the Gnome's Wisdom first, so expect the icon to follow up at least, and we'll see where he goes from there. But even with the Gnomes alone, it's a very good teamfight item, of course. And it looks like it might be Reason's... no, he's heading over to the Ancients. Okay. Gonna triple stack these.
Puppet Monster Illusion, though, it's spotting it out.
Yeah, that's true.
I wonder if Legion wants to address this.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, they got Rhapsody and Parasite over in the area, but maybe a little risky just running into there.
Going mid?
So they're going middle. This time they will kill Meraxes. Arcane Shield not enough there. So yeah, this time the lockdown is enough, and they get the kill. You do see Oogie, though, finishing off the Ancients. And that means now 470 GPM about after she kills off the rest of these here.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Almost, not even 12 minutes in, and you're almost up at the 500 gold per minute mark. He must be taking some real nice stacks in his own forest as well, on top of that Ancients.
Yeah, I wasn't necessarily watching him a whole lot, honestly, but he's clearly been doing something right. As far as
this is why I like to see push lineups with the Pebbles in the safe lane, because now what? You got a pull key, yes, but unless you can keep the aggression up, then you're going to taper off. And right now, there's no one from Sync side that can actually push the towers. They have to tank with their bodies if they want to do so.
Yeah.
And that's not very viable. Oh.
They catch Rhapsody. That was an offensive swap right there. To catch Rhapsody out of position and ultimately secure a kill. So Insania goes down, and again, Reason Gaming, similar to last game. They're actually getting finding their groove a little bit right here, getting some kills. They got a very farmed carry on top of it. Now it's just a matter, how do they transition this? That's what we keep looking back at. It seems like that mid-game phase seems to be a little uncertain for them.
I think that they can keep the aggression up this game, though, if they get a portal key onto Meraxes. They can't do it before that, but if they can time, like, for example, Astro timing and portal key timing on Meraxes, then they should have a nice window of opportunity where they could take Kongor and probably pretty much every single tower on the map outside of the base towers.
Yeah, you see Lodestone 1,000 gold saved up, so Zane doing what he can. In fact, 300 gold per minute, jeez. Suicide Lodestone there, yeah, I had to really double check that.
Oh wait, he got a first blood at least. That should be one of the reasons.
Yeah, that helps. Ooh, Flensmeister DCs. All the way back to base right there, so. Yeah, unfortunately missing out on a little bit of farm, and I'm sure the team didn't even realize initially, as usual, so. He's to reconnect here and eventually head back out into the jungle to get some more farm wherever he may want to be. Oogie, though, pushing to the top lane in the meantime. He's got a glowstone, so the icon well in the works.
Yeah, they can't really bring him down at this point. Even if Pebbles were to rotate over, they need at least 3, if not 4 people to actually bring him down.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy that Pebbles, getting as early as a portal key he did get, that there's actually a target. It's just several targets that he really helped. This is a pretty tanky team, the more I'm looking at it. You got both Lodestone and Meraxes there. They should be able to tank some good damage here.
Yeah, that's why it was so questionable, as well as like putting all the farm on the Pebbles into the safe lane instead of just running him in as like that kind of offensive gank lineup in the mid with a Parasite and Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, you got your portal key, but yeah, I mean, you're not necessarily going to be able to find too many pickoffs. Oh, yeah. Look at him though.
He's gonna find Ophelia here. Obviously, double damage helping plenty there. So when you have a DD rune, really anyone's well, they should be scared.
They're looking to go again. They got a pull key up. Andromeda, no.
If she even gets remotely close, she's dead. So yeah, she is going to fall back, and that should be the end of it. So nice pick on Ophelia, though. That does go back to the draft, though, of this overall lineup, definitely. I know in the laning phase maybe felt a little weak, but as far as the matchups here against the heavier burst damage of the Legion side, it seems like they did it pretty well. Have some good sustain here, and also just the stay alive power, the tankiness, of course. Okay, the Beast Hearts, yeah.
I'm not sure how I feel about this Whispering Helm pickup on Puppet Master, or at least I assume that's what he's going for. I would rather see him, I mean, in the first game he went for the Shroud straight up, and it worked out pretty well. This time they got a very, very early portal key on Pebbles, so I feel like keeping the aggression up would have been even better in this game than game number 1.
Yeah. That is true.
I guess it's the fact that they're so tanky at the Hellborn side, so Flensmeister might not feel confident enough to actually get those kind of solo kills.
Insisting on instead just gonna try to play more of the farm game here, getting that Whispering Helm first item. Again, Zlap, just like last game though, he's kind of been quietly been doing his thing. He went the Striders and the Blood Chalice, and now the Puzzle Box. Currently level 1, so about a 15-minute Puzzle Box here. Gonna use them to scout out these triple stack Ancients. Being somewhat attempted here, so.
Oh, Pebble so close.
Yeah, if he got the angle there, that would have been a dead Andromeda, but Just at the wrong spot, but they're going to run right back into it. They don't even realize. Pebbles jumps in, gets a combo onto at least Andromeda, but Oogie, he pops a Primal Surge. Low Star comes in, a big Shadow Storm. In comes the Protectability. No, it's going to be stopped, though. Down goes Rhapsody, down goes Pebbles. And right now, Reason Gaming winning this fight. Parasite in the background got the pick onto Ophelia, though, as well as Andromeda. But Oogie's still chasing, damn it. Puppet Master, he's going to try to lock him down, try to get away. Transmute onto Oogie as well, trying to do what they can, but it's not going to be enough. In comes another Tarquake, and down goes Puppet Master. So a 3 for... make it a 2 for 2 exchange right there, I guess, in the end, in favor of Reason. No, 3 for 2. Pebbles bought back. Yeah. Oh, jeez. That's definitely a victory for Reason then.
Yeah, and that was close to being a 3 for nothing as well, unless it would have been for Slap making some really good plays there. And getting the leech off onto Andromeda and the face off to the Ophelia.
Yeah. Yeah, he snuck back in there and got some kills, but again, you see the... Definitely saw a good power of Oogie in that fight. The pops a Primal Surge, and you were pointing that out. I mean, it's like, how are they going to kill him? This early on especially, they do not have nearly enough damage right now. I'll see this replay, too.
This is going to be like an exact copy of game number 1, more or less. The Hellborn team is going to have a little bit of trouble breaking the base, but this time they got Oogie, who can be in the front, and they got Ophelia creeps to support. Last time they didn't. So Sync Esports is definitely not in a... they're in a risky spot right now.
Yeah.
Oh, Pebbles up the top lane. He got another DD rune.
Yeah, he's up here. Gonna be able to port out, maybe? Andromeda? Oh, stopped it with a swap. Beautiful Aurora snipe right there, and now Pebbles in trouble. Out comes the Comet Stun. Oogie's gonna be enough follow-up, and down goes Mickey. So he had a double damage rune, but he was trying to get away right there, and obviously did not. So good find by Nier in the meantime on Andromeda, and now they're gonna be pushing in. Port back? Okay, never mind. They're gonna fall back from this, but another big pick.
Nier is on top of his game today.
Yeah.
He's just playing so damn right. Every single time, I mean, ports, communication, everything, swaps, ganks, rotations. I don't think that he has made a single mistake in this game at least.
Anything noticeable, yeah.
Yeah.
He is on top of it. See Khezu porting out. Obviously, he has his portal key with the Steam Boot, so he too is a good tool there, but I'm going to port out of dangerous spot, pushing a little too far in. Oogie, though, continuing to farm, so now it goes back to Oogie. The initial build, not too surprising. The Gnomes into the Icon. Again, we see Beaverbringer do it all the time as well. Where does he go from here now, though? This can start changing it up. I know Frosted Skull could even be powerful on him. Will it be a Sheep Stick? Will it be a Shrunken Head? Does he need that?
Let's see. Meraxus, not as tanky so far. Lodestone, I don't think that he needs to go for the Frostfield. I feel like he's tanky enough already, and I don't think he's going to be prioritized. So maybe even a Ship Stick wouldn't be too shabby.
Okay. Let's see what Ember Boy decides in the end, but over 500 gold per minute means he should be having something, at least a build-up towards whatever he's going for in the near future. For him, you got Tankafet on the Ophelia, of course. He's got the Astrolabe and Ring of Sorcery. Seems like he's been doing a pretty decent job here so far. 0-2 and 3, not the sexiest stat line, but
oh, look at the bottom.
Accomplished kinda. Rhapsody, she ain't getting away. That Arcane Shield too. It's just like, what can she do? No staccato stuns to be used for obvious reasons, and down she goes.
Yeah, unfortunately, so many support heroes are reliable on that single target stun. So. Versus Meraxus is not easy to deal with. I would love to have, however, to see Reason Gaming go for a Conqueror attempt. They got Astra onto Ophelia, they got a portal key onto Meraxus, and they just got a pick off, and everyone is in the area, but still, no Conqueror attempt.
No, they're gonna find Parasite right here, but yeah, a little too slippery, and he escapes. But yeah, not insisting on doing Conqueror, instead insisting on pushing the bottom tower. It is the first tower up still, so in fact, not many tower kills this game in general. The Reason only has one tower kill at the top lane, so looking to make more tower kills happen. They're playing this very safe, though, as far as pushing in bottom.
I feel like they should be a little bit more confident. I mean, this was the trend in game number 1 as well. They got a big lead, but then they just like fall back. They're a little bit too afraid of taking those team fights.
Yeah, they're playing way too safe here, it feels like, as it does develop. So yeah, looking back at the last game now, to be fair, they didn't win it, but obviously a lot of things added up for that reason, and you can think Sync is not going to let something like that happen twice in a row. So by no means should they be banking on that kind of strategy. But Parasite, by the way, Wild Hunter, he's trying to find something. Oogie is by himself now. Oh, this is a big kill chance. If he stays around, oh my gosh, I don't know what gave Imboboy the presence of mind right there to fall back, but he was dead if he stayed. More than likely, so.
I'm not 100% sure. This guy is
it is Oogie,
way more tanky than you might imagine.
But that was Pebbles, Parasite, and Rhapsody all collapsing there.
Yeah, but still, I mean, he got the vestment, he got the icon, and I don't know, I think that would have been risky. With Ophelia heal coming in on top,
True.
I don't think it would have been enough.
Oh, speaking of Ophelia, by the way, Ophelia's touch is going to be used right here. And now Parasite, he needs to get away. Swap onto Ophelia just in case. He's in the Wizard. The Mauler explosion doing some good damage, but the Wizard going to fall here, and done goes Parasite as well. So, Zlapt getting picked off. And you mentioned the Ophelia's touch. Obviously a big reason for that with the Astrolabe effect on top of that to keep him up. Lodestone, by the way, has the Alchemist Bones now too. So, another way to counter the Parasite. That's something that Reason didn't get last game.
Yeah, that's a good one, because just in game number 1, they had a very tough time dealing with the Parasite creep. They don't have too much physical damage in this game. There's literally no one that could kill that Wild Hunter or that Puzzle Box minion. But now with Alchemist Bones, they definitely got a tool to do so. So yeah. Nice pickup by him. Oh, mid lane, by the way. Oh no, it's only the Pebbles.
Again, it's just Pebbles. Yeah, so that goes back to what you were just saying. It's like, it's one thing for a Pebbles, Parasite, and a Rhapsody, but if it's just Pebbles, there's no way. He is remotely getting close to a kill on Oogie, so. Smart decision by Mickey. Ports out, bottom tower goes down, Midas bottom lane. He's trying to get a follow-up here, catches Ophelia. Going to be some decent damage, but there's a Shadow Storm. Nice puppet show, though. That's going to hold him in place. Voodoo Puppet comes out. Pebbles jumps in with a combo. He's going to get 1 kill. Going for 2. Lodestone. He's having a rocket trail, though. Puppet Master travel low. Down goes Lodestone. Can Marks finish him off? Yes, he can. As down he goes. But Oogie's now here as well. So Puppet Master dead. And all of a sudden now Parasite and Pebbles on the run. Mickey, he's got the portal key, but he's not going to be able to use it. Down he goes. So once Oogie joins the party especially, you just see the Sync Esports team scattering. They want to get the hell on out of there. And they couldn't in time. At least a couple of them. This is, man, I mean, Reason Gaming, yet again, they're in a comfortable spot early in the game 2 now.
Yeah, it looks very promising for Reason indeed. I mean, if they were to go 2 up in this series, that's, oh man, I don't even know.
Yeah.
I didn't see Reason Gaming winning this. I figured they would take 1 or possibly 2 games, but definitely not this early on into the series, and in such a dominant fashion as well. Or I guess game number 1 wasn't in dominant fashion; it was more of a last minute.
But again, it wasn't a huge fluke either by any means. It's not like they were behind the whole game and they just simply did that at the very end, like I was talking about. I mean, they were in the league, kind of like they are now in game number 1 as well. It's just a matter of Sync playing it very well themselves, as they do. And eventually grinded it out to come back and, well, obviously lost it in the end. But that's what we're constantly looking back at, though, right? We're going to now see now. We're 23.5 minutes in. This is yet again another good lead for a reason. Now, how do they play it out here? I will say, so far, I mean, they just pushed the bottom tower right there. They got it ultimately. But we haven't really seen them all group up together and push yet. And it seems like they may be doing that now.
They got a Frostfield plate onto Oogies. They go for a little bit more of a tanky route. Not necessarily going to be able to bring him down by any means. Even if there are 4 or 5 players at this point, I don't think they can take down the Oogie unless they get at least like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And well, that's definitely a luxury that they don't have in the team fights.
Assassin Shroud is going to be up in 4 gold right here, so Puppet Master is going to have that at least going into a fight. So there we go. And that will provide even a little bit more burst and utility, but yeah, they're just not comfortable defending these towers here. And I think it is for good reason, as you're talking about. You see Khezu pushing bottom, he ports back, or portal keys away, as Matt H TPs in, scares him off. Pebbles, he's still sticking around, but not much he's going to be able to do there. Again, you know, we hinted at it earlier, and we're definitely seeing it more and more as this game picks up. It's not only is it somewhat of a tanky team, but it's just they got the swap, they got the Ophelia's touch, and Astrolabe heal. I mean, this is proving more and more to be just honestly not a good game for a Pebbles in general, as far as relying on that upfront burst. and
not
trying
in
to
the
catch
safe
people.
lane, like that all-in kind of factor, because it's so greedy.
Yeah.
If you can't keep the aggression up, you are not going to be able to carry your team throughout the late game. And Puppet Master, even though he got the means to recover a little bit, he's not like that Clanks or Bushwhack or anything like that. He doesn't have that farming spell ability. He got a Whiplash, but it still stacks with his attack damage, so he's not the fastest recoverer, so to say.
You know, what do you think? It's actually being brought up in chat. I'm curious, kind of hits me too. Nullstone on Oogie. Would he actually? Do you think that would actually be a good pickup here, or would that be too defensive at this point?
I think it would be way too defensive. I don't think he should go for that. I think he should go for a ship stick.
Okay.
And just bring the pressure, because they don't have the best of lockdown on the Hellborn side. It is the Quakestone from Meraxes, but other than that, it isn't too much. The Lodestone doesn't provide too much. It's the Rocket Drill if you were to get a really nice one off on a row of enemies, but very unlikely to happen.
There we go. Conqueror, though, double damage Oogie. Again, maybe not like other carries in terms of having a double damage rune like a Clanks that's here just bringing up or something like that, but still, he's able to assist with plenty of damage here. Double damage just helps with that, and this is going to be dead Conqueror pretty quickly as a result. So, Oogie, Token of Life. We talk about, you know, Dr. Repulsor up there as one of the best heroes in the game having it. Honestly, Oogie's up there as well for good reason. The Primal Surgeon it's what, a 30-second cooldown? 40 seconds, but still pretty short cooldown. And if he's able to regenerate or, you know, get a fresh new mana pool and whatnot, could definitely do wonders with it. So, having a token here. Now so this is where we're going to find answers, right? Does Reason Gaming capitalize with this token, or does it fall apart?
Please do.
Yeah.
Please just
Last
go for
game,
the
they
racks.
lost it right away, so. But that's because Corrupted was kind of by himself, to be fair. So, this game, we'll see how they play it differently.
And decided to go for the Firebrand instead of like the Staff of the Master.
True.
So that he was able to get more or less picked off by the Puppet Master and his Shroud. In this case, that's not the same. Puppet Master cannot find any pickups whatsoever. Okay.
Oh, some split pushing going on here. You see, that was actually a pretty good job. I mean, Onmi and Andromeda up there at the top lane, they're defending it. Meanwhile, the rest of the team pushes bottom. Sync unsure of where exactly they want to go. And I think this is going to be a tower kill. Yeah, Sync really not comfortable defending it. Even though they know that there's not everyone here.
Yeah, at this point they shouldn't defend outside of their base, because if they were to lose a team fight and they don't have any buybacks at this point, it's only the Puppet Master. So if they were to lose a team fight there, that's going to result in racks. Then it's better to just say, okay, we're going to defend in the base instead.
Yeah. Okay, 4,500 gold saved up, by the way. So you also got to kind of look at that and think, well, maybe another big item could be coming up soon, but he does buy the Blessed Orb, so still will be a little bit off at the sheep stick. Not going to wait for it, of course. They're going to go right into the base right here as Oogie leads the way. Now, again, not the greatest siegers. This is not a good, like, tower-breaking team, so that kind of shows right there.
And I do have the Ophelia, but his creeps have tapered off a little bit. They cannot withstand the damage coming on from Midas and Pebbles. And Puppet Master is doing a good job here at the top lane. He is continuing to farm away.
Yeah, well, why not, right? It's not like a whole lot's going on down here at the bottom lane, at least just yet. And again, this is definitely an Oogie weakness here. He's not a carry that's going to be in the front lines in terms of pushing in towers like crazy, like we see a lot of other carries do, especially the range aspect. So, yeah, you see Reason falling back even. And
do they have dust?
Are they going to catch him? No, they don't have dust. That's brutal. How do they not have dust? I mean, it's understandable, I guess, but that would have been a kill, 100%, if they just simply had a 200 gold item. 180 gold, what is it?
Okay, so they're gonna fall back now from the enemy forest or from the Legion forest, and even though that's alright in my opinion, seeing as they weren't able to necessarily siege the base, I mean, at least get offensive wards up. Because what happens now? Sync Esports goes straight back to farming their own forest. If they would have had offensive wards at this point, it wouldn't have been possible. Because then Reason could have gotten some pickoffs on them.
Yeah.
But yeah, for now, I don't know. This token is once again gonna be proven to be more or less non-factor.
Yeah, and as far as the damage done, sure they got the secondary tower, but look at the base tower, man. Again, it just shows you how weak they are at pushing into a base. It's barely any damage done to the base tower there by Reason Gaming. So that, no doubt, is going to be their weakness moving on here. And I think it's safe to say Sync is aware of that, so they can kind of turtle it out here yet again and get the farm eventually on Puppet Master. You got a Sheepstick coming out on Midas. That's going to be big. Speaking of that, Sheepstick just finished on Oogie. So, Me2 has it now.
Reason Gaming, though, they're so boxed out. Or like boxed onto their own side. They don't have a single ward on the map. No Bound Eye, no map control. They're going to go for a Veiled Rotgang here, but this is risky.
Is that, no, that's not I thought that was Parasite for a second, but no, that's just the Whispering Helm creep. So not really that big of a deal. And yeah, they're not going to find anyone. I think Sync definitely saw something there that gave it away. And they'll be fine. I mean, you know, we're talking about how Nier's been playing such a great game overall, but maybe that is the one mistake that you can notice to point out.
Yeah, definitely. Going for that Energizer instead of the Bound Eye and getting map control, that's, yeah, a poor choice.
Hey, I don't know. Energizer on a support hero too. I've always kind of felt it's almost like a waste. I mean, it's good to have it as a team. It is a good item, I guess. But is it better than say a tablet? You know, is it better than halfway towards a Storm Spirit? Things like that.
Yeah, I think it's all. Yeah, I usually prefer the tablet as well. But seeing as they got 3 melee heroes, I guess it's alright. And as well, it synergizes with Ophelia creeps. So I'm not gonna take too much away from the item, but still feel like, I mean, Bound Eye, they got one on Ophelia now. Oh, there we go, pick off. This is exactly what happened during game number 1, though. That Reason just isn't able to capitalize.
It's feeling eerily similar. It really is to the first game. And I think that the glaring biggest difference between these two games is, you know, the Warbeast factor, the secondary carry factor more so on the Hellborn side, or more so on Recent side, that they had with the Corrupted. This game, it's all Oogie. It is an all Oogie carry. You're not relying on anyone else to kind of take that role as well. So I think this time around, you could say, I mean, both teams scaled pretty damn well into the later game.
Sheepstick was just picked up on Midas, and he's going to be able to blink out. They got a DD now in a bottle of Meraxes, so I don't know. I mean, they still can't go with it for the base, even if they have the DD. If they would have had a range carry, that would have been one thing, but they don't have the token, and yeah, this is going. Oh wait, Oogie going for First World Skull.
Right? Is he probably? Yeah.
It must be. I don't know if I like that though.
No.
Doesn't feel like he's going to be able to deal too much out attack damage.
Do you think Nullstone? It could be that.
To be fair, I'm not the best Oogie. I don't know the best insight when it comes to Oogie, but
well, mana regen you figure is good in general, and Nullstone does provide plenty of that. And the single target effect, we stress how this Legion team has a lot of it. So
I feel like this is going to be 6-slotted so fast though if he goes for the Nullstone. It's rather cheap, and seeing as he got 640 gold per minute, and he's only more or less just got one spot, he can replace the Gnomes of Wisdom. But
what about, you know, an item we never see? What about a Grimoire of Power?
Grimoire of Power, I think it scales pretty well into the late game because of the percentage-based plus damage, of course. I don't know, I still feel like they just need lockdown whatsoever. They do already have the Sheepstick, so I'm not quite sure what he can potentially go for. Demonic Breastplate? Do they have a Demonic? It's not necessarily an Oogie kind of item, but it's a very great team item. They got Bulwark and Ophelia.
Yeah. Tank of Fede. At this rate, it looks like he's going to be able to get that here. Keeps up the goal. Yeah, Kaiser hasn't died yet. 0-5, so not necessarily the greatest ally ever either, but has not died yet at least.
But when it comes to these items, next items on Oogie, like, we aren't necessarily sure what he should pick up. There isn't anything that really stands out, so that just tells me, like, what are you waiting for if you're Reason? You got everything that you need. You're not going to get a better, like, it's not going to shape up better for you in the late game. First of all, Skull is not going to provide that much.
Yeah.
You need to make a move.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying there, so we'll see what Emma Boy does ultimately go for. I don't think he's purchased anything since then. So really just have the Blessed Orb, and obviously that's one of those items I think it actually makes the most items in the game as far as an individual item goes. So yeah, we'll never be too certain. Yeah, it's 5 different items it can ultimately make into. So, and already has the one in Sheepstick. Probably not going to be Geometer's Bane. The other 3, there is logic to at least. So Hellflower is finished now in Moraxis, having that delivered, so that's going to be another good tool to use for the Hellborn side. Got 2,600 gold on Lodestone. Really, you know, Barbed Armor actually could be a good item on him for obvious reasons with the synergy of his ultimate, but not going for that here. He actually gets an Acolyte Staff, so I guess another Sheepstick in the works.
Yeah, they need the lockdown.
Okay, you see right there, he did actually go Frostless Skull in his previous 2 games on Oogie, so maybe that's our answer right there, if anything. Oh, they're going to catch Puppet Master by the way, and Shatterstorm, boom, goes the Dynamite. Flensmeister's dead, so big pick on a Flens.
They were actually close to catching Parasite as well. He's outside of the Hellborn base right now. And I'm able to port out, but if they would have gotten those 2 kills at the same time, that could have been... Nah, never mind. I'm not gonna say it. It wouldn't have been a Rax push. It's Reason Gaming.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That is a good point.
No, but I don't know. Kongor level 2. Kongor second one is going to spawn here in the near future, so hopefully they make something happen with this token.
Yeah, the Frostless Skull being delivered now to Oogie. Is it on the courier? No, okay. He purchased more towards it, so maybe not finished on this yet. But it is going to be a Frostless Skull, so the answer's there. At least, you know, whether or not... honestly, I really think the Grimoire is almost kind of forgotten about. Now that I think about it, I am a little surprised we haven't... Like, even when Beambringer plays this hero, just in general, like, I don't think we've ever seen a Grimoire before on an Oogie. And it feels like that, yeah, with scaling-wise, it seems like it would do pretty good, but... Not the case, and still not going to be the case here. But Kongor's up, and you see the vision around. Sync doesn't have a whole lot. They got one at the Ancients of the Hellborn side, but as far as Kongor goes, they have nothing really, so...
They're not interested in fighting this. No. This is a battle that they wouldn't win. So, yeah, I mean, better just turtle up in their base and wait for Reason Gaming to make their move. I mean, they are very good at counter-pushing once again, so...
Yeah.
And the experience gain is actually closing in now for Sync Esports. I think it was up to 7k a few minutes ago as well, but they're making a really good job of just farming all over the map.
Yep. Gonna finish him off. Another token on Oogie. He's now upwards of 650 gold per minute. Again, speaking of not dying, he also hasn't died, to be fair. 2-0-4 there. And now with a Frostless Skull on top of that, the likelihood of him dying is very unlikely. He's 3,300 life now. Primal Surge, of course, already makes it very difficult if he wasn't tanky. So a lot of reasons that you do not want to focus fire Oogie is basically what it comes down to if you're Sync Esports. You want to take out his supporting cast and then eventually, you know, finish him off if anything. But a lot easier said than done. And now here we go once again. So we are yet again getting an idea of the siege. Oh, but look at this. Reason jumps in quickly. Predictability in the background. Going to save damage on a Midas. Double damage Pebbles in the background as well. He does survive, so no kills just yet. Moraxis, he's being held down. Oogie, though, he's trying to do as much damage. Shrunken Heads are mitigating plenty, but now he finds Parasite. But a Sheepstick on him. They're crowd controlling him like crazy. Parasite's still alive. And do they go too deep is the question. Reason Gaming, not just yet. They get the kill on Parasite and Pebble. So far a win for Reason. No buybacks on either one of them either. And Sync has to play very safe now. So it looks like actually Reason in a good spot here. 7 more seconds on Primal Surge. Want to keep that in mind. If you're Sync Esports, they will kill Lodestone. Moraxis jumps in though. Midas, he's in trouble. Midas goes down. And there's another Primal Surge. Look at Rhapsody falls. A double tap. And now he's going for Puppet. Look at the heals, man. It is so difficult when that Surge is up. You have to lock him down. They do at the end, but again, damage already done by Immaboy. And finally, they'll finish off the tower at least. And will they get the Rax now, is the question. Pebbles is up in 15. Puppet Master, he doesn't have a Voodoo Puppet. And they obviously Oogie still has the token, but it looks like they are going to finally send him back. Oh my god. If they didn't send him back right there, maybe he could have even killed, but Ophelia, however...
in trouble now.
Yeah. I don't know if he's getting away.
I'm not gonna find him.
Okay, he's good. Well, that was now again, no buybacks or Casey. Okay, Casey did buyback, but
they hold at least.
Didn't get the Rax. Yeah, so really, I mean, it was a successful fight for Reason, but Sync played it very smart. They didn't feed. They didn't give too many kills up like we see a lot of the time, and they do hold. So they got that going for them.
They do. 2 minutes left, 2.5 minutes even, on the token. They should just group up and go straight again.
Yeah.
There's no reason for why they should let this token run out without taking a fight. Or forcing more buybacks from Sync side. Oh my god, Marax is running in on his own, is that why?
Yeah, well, I mean, he does get swapped down, so Near. Oh my god. So tanky, man, with that new buff. Maraxus jumps back in. Loso with a follow-up. Pebbles misses Stalagmites right there. And guess who's coming? It's Oogie. The Conflagrate's up, running with fire, baby. Protect him, Melody. Great placement from Insania. It is going to be stopped, though, pretty quickly at the same time. And now Rhapsody falling victim. He goes down. Puppet Master Voodoo Puppet takes out Lowstone. But Oogie's still there, and he's still doing plenty himself. The Tar Quick, not enough for the kill. And Puppet Master will escape. Meanwhile, Oogie, man, you know what he needs? A shrunken head. It is showing these last couple of fights. He is getting locked down way too well by Sync Esports. Yet as I say that, he is going to eventually be able to pick off Parasite at least. But, yeah, that's something I'm really noticing here as these fights happen. If he gets a shrunken, they can't do anything then.
Nope. They just can't bring him down, though. There is absolutely no way. I feel like that was a perfect opportunity to actually go for the Rax fight, though. That was a little bit stupid not to take advantage of the token, but yeah, once again, experience and gold are more or less back to identical as they were before the token was picked up. And they got one tower down at the bot lane, but that's it. That's all that they managed to achieve with that token of life.
Yeah.
So it's probably going to be just another Kongor here that Recent Gaming are going to be wait for before they go for the final and last Rax push.
Are we missing something here? Why does Insania have 2 mana batteries?
I don't know.
He's actually had that for a while.
He's got 1 charge on one and 4 charges on the other.
Yeah, that seems a little, well, not worth it. It's kind of stupid. I don't know how else to word this here.
I mean, do they even stack?
Maybe a misclick? No, they definitely don't stack. The only thing I could think of is, again, this is if he genuinely did this for a reason. Now, it could just simply be a misclick. Like, it could be that he didn't realize it, you know, in the heat of the moment, whatever. But the only thing I can think of is that they both get charges. And so, like, but if you use one, then the other goes on cooldown, right? But if you drop one, you use one, and then you pick it up, would that? No, it still would be on cooldown, though, so that wouldn't even make sense. So I don't know. There's nothing.
I'd probably use the misclick. Sometimes you use hotkeys when you run into the outpost or observatory or something when you're trying to buy wards or TP or something, so that's probably just the case.
Yeah. Oogie, what did he buy? Yeah, he bought, okay, well, there you go. Shrunken and post-AC even, so, yeah, man, my boy, he's adapting to the situations here. Got rid of the Gnome's Wisdom, but I think it's worth it. Do they have a Ring of the Teacher buff, though? With that said, they don't currently. That is something they should probably look to invest in now, though. That he doesn't have the Gnome's Wisdom anymore. Maybe an Abyssal Skull and Ophelia wouldn't be a bad option, actually. Or somebody else, for that matter.
Yeah, he's got a full demonic breastplate, by the way. Or once and once again, I mean, it just feels like every single time Tank of Fat plays his Ophelia, he just ends up with tons of farm.
There we go. Again, trying to break base. Let's take number 3 right here. Well, this won't be the charm.
No token this time, but yeah, I guess it doesn't even matter because so far he hasn't lost it.
Oogie's not. Oogie's not dying. That's pretty evident. So Pebbles like, we got to try something. The Sheepstick comes out. Here comes a follow from the team. Oogie dropping a little bit, but swap out. Voodoo Puppet. Oh my God! It actually nearly killed him, but he stays alive. And now here goes the Primal Surge. Pebbles gonna end up dropping right there. Parasite goes down. The Hellborn team still everybody alive. Shatterstorm for Lodestone actually. Is he gonna go back in? He is. Boom goes the Dynamite, but it was mitigated by Rhapsody. She falls shortly after. Puppet falls. Is this gonna be GG? I think it is. Hat-trick coming out for him, boy. GG, well played. Game 2 going to Reason Gaming, and Reason is up 2-0 over Sync Esports right now in this best of 5. Who would have saw that one coming? I don't think anybody.
No, definitely not. I imagine Reason Gaming putting up a fight, taking maybe 1 or 2 games, but taking the lead with a 2-0, and I don't know, they are just playing perfect today. They're on fire, man.
Yeah. Man, that Oogie play, like, that was... Oogie's a crazy hero, man. I mean, Sync, Sinka, I think, played it obviously so well as they could have in terms of locking him down. I mean, that lockdown of that fight, pushing him to the base to fight before that, it was ridiculous. I mean, they were sheeping him every night. They were transmuting, they were using stuns, but the fact that they have to use so much attention on him and then still try to kill the other teammates, I think would prove to be the ultimate issue, right? Like, we're also dealing with Moraxis, with Lowstone, both tankier targets, an Ophelia that's healing our teammates, swapping from Andromeda, and that goes back to the beginning of the game, the draft, honestly. I know you were really concerned about the lanes, and I got that and everything, but obviously I think the draft is what really did it for a reason here. with the tankiness.
It was no, but it was the pebbles. I mean, the fact that they were putting him in the safe lane instead of in the mid. I just like going full out on him, and Puppet Master instead. I mean, staying there on like 280 gold per minute, not necessarily having an impact in this game, not being able to find a single solo kill with the Dustin Shroud or his ultimate, for example, as it were in game number 1. And no, it was just all in on the pebbles, fast pull key, but they weren't able to capitalize on it. They weren't able to push. You need to have something that can actually like take towers, get some map advantage. If you run for that offensive Pebbles pull key, you need like vision in the enemy forest so that you can get those early kills. That didn't happen, so they were stuck on their side and they weren't able to break down any towers. And Racing Gaming, is coming out on top with that insane Oogie gold per minute. By the way, he was up at 500 gold per minute at like the 15-16